Hi everyone, welcome to another weekly squeeze. I was on vacation for a month, so we kind of interrupted the regular programming.
Welcome back, E.O., and glad you're back safely in US, and welcome everybody as well. So we missed you all.
I miss you guys. So I think what we do is just a reminder for everyone. We will, like we do every Sunday, we'll look at the high probability trade setups for the week. I'm really interested in hearing Karthik's weekly plan. We'll look at the money calendar and see what that shows. We'll look at Bitcoin and Ethereum very quickly. I think we're going to have a reversion to mean the next day or two, and maybe a short-term trading opportunity. And then we'll look at the indices and select trading setups. Before the session started, Karthik, on the website, I posted the money calendar days for every day, kind of looking at the potential patterns.
Yeah.
I also ran orange dot and red dot squeeze list, and there's some interesting trade possibilities there.
Super.
So with that, why don't I turn over to you for kind of like the overarching market trends and your weekly plan. I really want to hear from you on that. It's been a while.
Oh yeah, sure. No, I'm very happy to do it. Welcome back, everybody, to the weekly squeeze here. So, a couple of things that I want to address today. I guess tonight. You guys can see my screen, okay? Right? Okay, perfect. So what I want to do is look at few indices and see where we need to focus on for the upcoming week, and also look at the sector sentiment as I usually do, and finally we can kind of take a look at some gold and bonds and see how the what's setting up there in terms of the setups and going forward for bonds and gold. So with that said, let's take a look at NQ for a second here. So the NQ and ES are double green, which I'll go through the chart in a second. YM just turned double green, but see how the price is balanced when I go through the chart here. It's trading in the range, so it could be a challenge trading the YM futures. But if you look at the chart on YM, it's pretty the range bound here on YM. So it could be a challenge, but it's just turned double green. Oh, hold on for a second. My chart has not changed. Oops. Something is wrong on my screen here. Let me just refresh it. All right, let's just take a look at NQ first then. So maybe the YM chart didn't get refreshed for some reason. So look at NQ here, right? The couple of things I look at to see the bullish sentiment here is two things. Number one, the top green zone is for me to look at the sentiment of the market, which is the 81321. and
Yep.
the bottom ones is basically the trend indicator for me. So that's my trend. The top one is the sentiment indicator. So both are indicating a double green, meaning I am generally leaning towards bullish on NQ. When I say bullish, I'm not going to go ahead and buy it for my swing trading here. If you look at my chart here, so it's trading at the high end of the range, the value area high for July. So I would typically like to see some pullback into either the zone here, which is the 13 exponential moving average, or preferably to the mean, which is the 21 exponential moving average. So that would be ideal to get into a moderate entry for NQ. But with that said, you can always trade this on an intraday basis. It's trading above my VWAP lines here, so you would want to generally trade on the bullish side of the market on NQ. So with that said, let's just move on to ES, the S&P futures. So S&P futures, it's the same story here too. Let's try to kind of see the bars so it's easy for folks to look at. The sentiment here again is bullish, trend is bullish, so stick with the long side as far as possible on the ES as well. When I say ES, so similar thing, wait for the pullback to these zones to enter into a trade, to the VWAP or the 8 exponential moving average, or preferably at the 21 exponential moving average. I think the forecast for the upcoming week is probably bearish based on the, I don't know if you're seeing the same side on your side, Leo, but the Stock Traders Almanac kind of shows kind of a bearish sentiment for the week, for the upcoming week. So if there's any pullback into these zones, I'm generally looking to enter long. With that said, the things you should focus on mostly is on the S&P side, you should stick to look at the financials, which is the XLF, and look at XLV. Those are the two sectors that you need to focus on from a S&P standpoint. But when it comes to NQ, I would take a look at some of the sectors, which is XLK, and then XLY and XLC individually, and see where you want to focus on. XLK is basically your Microsoft and Apple. And your XLY is basically your Amazon. I know Amazon had a hideous earnings on Friday, but Amazon and Tesla is the biggest components of the XLY, and then the XLC is basically your Google and Facebook. So these are you want to focus on. Go back and pick relative outperformance in these sectors and address which one you want to trade. The market is definitely challenging in terms of picking the right stocks. I mean, it's not like 2020 where you pick any stock and throw a dart on it and expect the market to run. But 2021 has been definitely a different market environment. You need to look at the structure of the market, structure of the environment, and look at where you want to focus your efforts on and trade the markets accordingly. So those are some of the things. If you want me to dive a little bit
before you go deeper, can I show the SPY chart very quickly, kind of alignment with your assessment?
Yeah, perfect. That'll be awesome.
So can you guys see my chart? SPY.
Yeah.
daily chart, yeah. So on Market Cipher, we have a red diamond. So like the first couple of days, we may get a pullback here. It's obviously it's still a bullish chart, but look what happens every single time we get these red diamonds on daily chart. You get a decent 1 to 4 candle pullback. 1 to 4 candle pullback. Exception is here. It was just 1 candle, but this was 1 to 4. There's another one here, but it did, you know, pull back decent enough. So we may get a little bit of pullback here. The daily chart, based on Market Cipher, this is a momentum wave getting smaller. This becomes a trigger wave sell. The stock RSA is turning down as well. So this is, you know, these catch the buy is pretty decent actually every single time. So we may, when this rollover turns somewhere around here, we may catch that. That's daily. Weekly looks really bullish, obviously. Continue to be, it's all green money flow.
That's true. What's the indicator on the down below, like other than the Market Cipher, the stochastic?
Oh, I have the stochastic RSI.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
K and D, percent K and percent D. I set up for, I think, 5 and 3. It catches pretty well. The crosses potential buy. Want to put like it when it goes back to the median, and you kind of have also a cross to the buy side. You know, especially when you have green money flow like this, it is a great buy, right? So I agree with you. I think on pullbacks we could catch a good buy. You know, somewhere around here. You know, 435, 434, 50.
Super. So glad we can be on the same page on that. So hopefully we get a pullback. I've been waiting for a pullback for long to put some money to work on my IRA accounts, but unfortunately, we'll see. We'll see. August been historically a down month, right? I mean, at least a bearish sentiment from a.
Yeah. So this week, first couple of days, bearish. We're going to look at the money calendar, but the rest of the week, rest of the month looks, you know, rest of the month looks pretty bullish on the money calendar. So we'll see.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's interesting. I mean, we can take a look at the money calendar, but the first couple of days of this week looks red. We'll see how accurate that is.
Okay. Good deal.
Let me give control back to you.
All right. So a couple of other things I want to cover here. See if I can share my screen. Oops.
You want me to add you back?
Oh yeah, I don't know what I did. Let me see.
Oh, I just put you in. So we're seeing your screen right now.
So can you see my screen or no?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
So if you show your
screen, share the screen. Yeah, trying to get used to StreamYard again now. All right. Okay, perfect. So there you go. So two other things I want to look at is the sector sentiment that I generally look at for you guys. If you can see this, I don't know how big is the size on the screen, but like if you guys can see it.
You may want to zoom in a little bit. You can.
Thank you. Let me do that.
I'm interested in energy because there's an energy stock on the squeeze list that's looking pretty good. What is this energy sentiment like?
Yeah, it's in the buying territory right now. That's one thing I want to stress on. To look at, I mean, it's some of these sectors are not really giving us anything, right? Like, for example, if you look at semiconductors, for example, it's somewhere in the middle, so no real buy signal or sell signal there. Technology has cooled off a little bit here, the XLK, so it's nowhere, it's kind of in a middle zone. So it's not really tradable from a sentiment standpoint, but you could potentially look for any kind of oversold stocks to trade for under XLK. If you look at the XLE and the XOP, which are the oil-related sectors, XLE is basically telling me, yeah, it was oversold. They started buying this last week or so. So you see the kind of how the sentiment is going to help us. So if you can just keep your focus on the sentiments levels where the oversold levels are, and then kind of use a few other indicators in terms of tactical sentiment and the VIX indications, you can kind of generally think about getting long at these levels. So it's bounced off a little bit, but there could be, it can kind of lead up to here. That's one thing that I wanted to kind of point out. And then the XOP, the same thing as well with XOP, where it was oversold levels, which could be kind of bought and hold on to till it gets to the sell level here on the red lines. But other than that, I mean, your materials is kind of neutral. The biotech is not really doing much. I think it's in the neutral territory. XLY, you see this after Amazon. Financial, I think one thing, I think a good thing to point out is the financial sector. You may want to see what the bonds may end up doing in the month of August, and see that can have a direct impact on financials. But right now, it's not really giving us any buy signals. But this one could be one of the sectors you want to focus on if there's any movements in the bonds and the interest rates, and those kind of things can affect the financial sectors. But other than that, I think, I mean, the utilities, I don't focus on that much, but like, yeah, it's right here, they're buying the utilities and all those kind of things. But with that said, I think just be very tactical in this market environment. This sentiment is not really giving us any kind of definite buy signals or sell signals. It's most of them are pretty neutral. I am a little bit confused in terms of the sector sentiment indicator for this week. So have to look at other things and how the price action, and tape read the markets and see where we could kind of focus our efforts on for the upcoming week. With that said, I just want to highlight a couple of more things on the bonds and also on the gold. People who want to trade gold and bonds. Let's look at bonds first. So this is the Larry Williams seasonality kind of setup that I look at on some of the major commodities that I trade. The bonds here looks pretty interesting from a downward perspective. The red line that you see on the charts here, those are basically your turning points. This red line here can be turning points, that intermediate turning points, I should say. And then the blue lines here is basically the fundamental forecast that's done by Larry Williams for the overall 2021 and how the price seasonality should kind of trend. So if you look at this, August 1st is the intermediate turning point, and could be potentially a bearish setup, at least for August, September. I guess the next turning point is September 22nd. So next couple of months, I mean, as you all may know, it's just a seasonal tendencies. It may not be pretty actionable, but you can look at the price action and see if you want to trade the bonds to the downside. So that's my trade on from a seasonality perspective for trading bonds. Hope that makes sense to you all. Similarly, I want to look at gold as well. Gold is inversely related to the real yields, but this could get interesting from a seasonality standpoint. If I scroll up a little bit here, August 2nd, right? You see those numbers there. I'm not making things up. His seasonality says buy gold August 2nd. So basically, that's the intermediate turning point. So you probably should expect some upward price reaction from here onwards, from August through October. So look at the price action. I mean, the chart looks pretty bullish, I think, at this point. Let me just go to the charts for a second on those bonds and gold. May make sense to get EO's viewpoint on these two markets that I'm interested to trade in for the upcoming couple of months for swing trades. Let's see if it opens up here.
Yeah, when you're ready, I'll share my views on gold.
Yep. The chart, I'm not really impressed on the chart itself. I mean, there's a 50-day moving average here, which could act as a resistance. But I mean, I'm not really sure. This is, give me 1 second. This looks like a weekly chart. So there you go. The ES and NQ, I think I have the same thing, similar issues, but right here. Okay. Let's look at this for a second. So the daily chart looks like there's some resistance here which held, and the price kind of came down on Friday. Expect some kind of a downward test here. Hopefully that holds, the price action kind of can hold, and then look for any kind of upward price reactions on the gold. Let's look at bonds here for one second. And then you can cover your perspective, EO, on both of these markets. So from a bond standpoint, seasonality-wise, it looks like it's bearish, but my charts are showing it's like there's a little bit of conflicts here. So both are double green and above the wave here, the 34 EMA wave. So it's kind of conflicting in my books. So I need to actually look at the price action, see how the price kind of traded in a balanced area here. It was pretty balanced. So it needs to get out of this flag pattern it's forming right now. So this flag pattern. So once that's kind of figures out what the price wants to do, you could, in theory, trade it in that direction, but I would prefer trade down from a seasonality standpoint, so that confirms my bearish bias. But the chart itself is pretty bullish, so as I said, the seasonal tendency may not work this year, so who knows. So let's kind of keep the focus on the price action and see how this flag breaks out, whether to the upside or to the downside, and we can kind of trade them accordingly. Hopefully that helps a little bit to give different scenarios, but EO, if you could kind of share your thoughts on those two things would be helpful.
Yeah, let me share my screen. So gold, if you look at the weekly chart, right, we are about to go, like we have a green dot buy signal on gold, and money flow is about to cross the zero line. So money will be coming into gold. Momentum wave is turning up. So I think the bullish sentiment on gold, we got the pullback to the median. You have a clear support channel here. So weekly, weekly longer term is really, really bullish. On the other hand, daily has a reversal on market cipher. It's probably a small reversal to go test a little bit, a few points down, which will give us a buy signal. It'll complete the small down wave market cipher, and then it'll go back up. So we'll get an opportunity to buy a few points down, but this is also very bullish. So if you look at, like, I like looking at market cipher in a very longer term, just looking at the waves like this. Oops, there you go. Okay, so you want to see these waves getting smaller and smaller, and this green, kind of green money flow mountains to be getting bigger and bigger. So like this was where the money flow coming out. This is where we came in. This is kind of like, it looks like it's going to continue going this way. And the stochastic RSI is pointing upward. So we'll have a good, I think, good upside on gold. And then if you want me to look at
the bonds, if you don't. Yeah.
Bond, let's look at weekly. I like kind of looking at the bigger picture first. Yeah, we have a market cipher reversal triangle here and a 382 extension. So and the momentum wave is turning. You guys see this? And then VWAP, this yellow wave, is coming. It's going to cross down to the zero line. So this may be the turning point for bond on the weekly basis. But on the daily chart, I suspect this will continue to go up a little bit to complete the, here the money flow is still green. So my projection is this: we probably have another week of bullishness in bonds, and then get ready for the weekly momentum wave to trigger a sell signal. So you probably have a week or two on bonds that is still bullish, and then it turns. This is the thing I like about market cipher. It allows you to have a projection around the timing a little bit. You kind of step back and look at the waves from a distance. This is where we had the green, money flow. This is where we had the red and coming down to the green. So we're in the weekly, actually. It looks like it may just turn down a little bit. We'll see. That's kind of the bonds that, I'll give it back to you, give the control back to you, Karthik, for your weekly plan.
Yeah.
We can go to money calendar after that.
Yeah. I guess I see a couple of people joined. Hopefully we addressed some of the questions on the gold that Kaush wanted. Welcome everybody, Janak, Silver. Let us know if you have any questions, please type them in. We can kind of address any other markets that you want us to look at. Let's see what else I wanted to cover. So those were some of the things I wanted to address for the weekly game plan for this upcoming week. There's one other thing that I think I want to cover here, but may not be relevant. But there's a free website that I personally use on FinViz, where you can go and look at the futures performance on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis to see where the markets, which markets you want to focus on. Since I trade some of the futures, generally what I do is look at the monthly performance for last 30 days and see, what markets are trending upwards and what markets are trending downwards. For example, if you look at some of the markets here, um, oats, I don't trade oats, but if you look at VIX for last 1 month, up 13%, coffee up 12%. Natural gas can be interesting. Could be potential trade in there. Trading some ETFs like UNG, and there could be some kind of potential bullish trades in there. But also some feeder cattle, live cattle, cotton, or Nasdaq is on this list as well. 3.23% for last 1 month. Bonds up, S&P's up. So look at like top 10 markets here to the upside, and some of on the downside, if you look at it, like lumber, corn, soybeans. Russell is on the downside. Nikkei, the Japanese markets, kind of down 4% last month. So you can get focused on top 4 or 5 down and top 6 to 8 markets in here, and see, you can dive back into each of the charts to see if you have a setup for buying or selling in these kind of markets. This is how I scan the markets the first thing during the week. On Sunday afternoons, I kind of scroll through this, look at the markets, look at the charts, and identify which markets to trade for the week. I mean, not that I trade some of these markets like oats, which can be illiquid. Orange juice is pretty illiquid market. So I don't trade some of these commodities, but could be interesting to look at the ETF, like natural gas could be interesting to look at. Copper looks like last month is up 6%, could be potential for trades in there as well. So I will continue to update my link to identify any potential trades on a go-forward basis, on a weekly, if I see anything that pops up on my kind of radar on a weekly basis. So just wanted to give you this overall perspective on kind of, if I'm not here, you know where to kind of go look for some of these things and see which direction you want to trade under. So let's just look at, we looked at NASDAQ, for example, right? So it's kind of a bullish situation. The way I do it is, let's pick NASDAQ again and go back to the charts here and see, like, you see the market is pretty bullish, right? As I said, double green environment. It's pretty bullish in my books. You typically want to buy a pullback again to this in these zones to get long. So the way I study it is look at these markets, futures on a monthly overall performance, relative performance, and pick stocks and futures and ETFs to trade in those markets. Just let me show you guys what I mean. Same as ES, because ES is double green as well. So you see, like, double green looks like a squeeze is building up. So that could kind of be interesting to see if we can get a break to the upside. Wish I can get some pullback before it kind of goes up. Let's see how the week plays out, but that's my game plan for the week. And I'll let me kind of put it back to EO and see if let's look at the money calendar and see what's setting up there.
Perfect. Let me let's do money calendar.
I hope I didn't babble there, but hopefully that helps for the folks who are on the call here.
No, that was really good. So let's look at the money calendar. So as you can see, for this week, these 2 days, they're red, and then the rest of the month looks pretty green. So
What is this thing? The orange?
if you look at the August 2nd, you continue to have NVIDIA on the list. If over the last 10 years, if you have purchased NVIDIA on Monday and exited on September 10th, you made on average $13, 13-point move. So that's NVIDIA. What is the what is CF, Karthik? You want to?
Yeah, CF is, I think, industrials. Let me check. Yeah, CF Industry Holdings. I mean, the chart looks ugly, but you're 100% accuracy on this one, or what is it?
No, I wouldn't do anything on this. I mean, it's especially Monday, Tuesday looks like relatively red days.
Yeah.
I would probably stay away.
Okay. Yeah.
But starting Wednesday, let's see, you continue to have NVIDIA, and you have all of these.
But your money calendar looks interesting, E.O. I mean, it's kind of bullish, no, for month of August. Looks like green, dark green.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, the squeeze in NQ and ES, I mean, may make sense to stick to the long side, right? I mean,
see, September, look at September, which starts to have some yellow days and reds. So September looks like you want to be careful in September.
Yeah.
Which makes sense to me.
Yeah, right. Agreed.
So here's what I did. I posted every day here for our team. If anybody wants to look at it. But like, I'm interested in doing stuff probably this coming Thursday or Friday, buying into like Qualcomm. Looks interesting. Yeah, you see Apple here, MasterCard, QQQ. So we could do something there. It looks interesting. Let me see. I also ran a weekly squeeze scan.
Yeah.
So, we have all of these on the squeeze. Let's see. I mean, TSM looks interesting. Let me see. Look at TSM. Here's my one of these have my squeeze stuff. Yeah. Take the good TSM. Yeah, all of that squeeze definitely on the weekly. Yeah, there are a whole bunch of squeezes on TSM, Karthik. Let's look at market cipher really quick. On daily chart. So you have on a daily scale, we have a buy signal with it's market cipher. And VWAP is over 0, money flow is over 0. Let me see on the weekly it was on a pullback. It needs to complete this wave here and give us a weekly buy signal. Yeah, it's gonna get there. So 4-hour bullish, daily bullish. It's not a perfect chart. I don't like it that much, but
Yeah, I mean the squeeze. I'm looking at the squeeze here on TSM. Looks like that's fired, right? To the short side. At least the low compression squeeze got fired on the daily chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we may have a couple of days to the downside, but I don't see any kind of bullish setup there from my books.
Yeah, I think it's mixed there. I don't like it. I looked at something for us, and then if I can find it, I think it was on the red dot squeeze. So this LRCX looks interesting to me, and the BLO. So I wanted to show you like the Solero Energy Corporation. I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe it's daily. No, it wasn't daily. 3 days. Yeah, on the 3-day, it had a green dot buy signal. So look at this chart. So it had a daily buy signal here. Oh, this is why I like it. So look at this. So from earnings to the dividend payment, this stock always increased significantly. So look, earnings to dividend. So like tomorrow, we could buy this thing. The earnings is behind us, and this will have a couple more days of uptrend because every single time from earnings to dividend, it went up, and it's like 4 or 5 points. Karthik, it's not small. I mean, it's a 10% move.
Yeah.
And when you have the green dot buy signals, look at the moves. I mean, this one is when the money flow is red, but when you have the green dot and the VWAP is going up, like here, VWAP is going up. So I don't know. I might, if we want to scalp, this is an interesting setup.
Is this to the long side? You said, right?
Yeah, long side. But look, on the 4-hour, we may get a pullback, small pullback, and then we go up. But it's only for until the dividend payment. So, I wouldn't go crazy with it. It just, I would, like, if history repeats itself or rhymes from earnings announcement to the dividend payment, this stock always increased. So you have 3 to 4 bars of bullishness.
Interesting. Okay, so August 4th is the dividend date.
So we have, how many days do we have?
3 more days.
2 more days. So may have a 4-point move. We'll see. I mean, it's something to watch.
Yeah, but the chart looks pretty bearish on the daily, like a pretty bullish, bearish flag forming at the 200 I guess 200 simple moving average on my books here, but double red. Yeah, I mean, if you're seeing specific to the dividend, and there could be a potential trade in there on the long side.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Market cipher kind of telling you a little bit of turn, but the money flow is still on red, so it's a risky trade. So
yeah,
the other one was the this I think LRCX, if I'm not mistaken, Lam Research.
Yeah.
That was also on the squeeze list.
Yeah, I love playing that, but never gives an opportunity for us to get in.
So, like, look at this. This is the stock RSI cross and the squeeze. And last time, like when it did this cross, you got the 4 candle move up. Same thing here. Let's see. So I kind of like it, this VWAP cross. That may be, you know, like a move up to 670. I mean, you get a 30, 40 point move. So
Yeah,
that's not small.
Yeah, that's LRCX has a big range, so there could be something to do in there. So this just a question on market cipher, like do you anticipate, like I think you mentioned VWAP kind of going up through that zero level, right? So do you anticipate just looking at the slope of the kind of the curves, seeing which direction it's going to go, and then take the trade, or you wait for the actual setup to happen and then pick the trade?
So the way I trade it, I look at a nice curvature. I want this red to be turning up, the red money flow coming up. And I want the VWAP turning up, and then I want a momentum wave buy trigger.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like, this is not a perfect setup because it is consolidating and it has a squeeze histogram. But, you know, knowing that there's a squeeze and this is kind of setting up to be a buy, that's exciting to me because you could get a significant move. That's the thing I like about Market Cipher. It kind of gives you a heads up that the buy is coming. Obviously, no one knows, right? It could just roll over from here. But it's pretty good. Like, when you look at the historical ones, the curvature. So you have to kind of look how it reacted. Like, you had a curvature here, money flow crossed, and the momentum wave crossed. You would have caught this whole move.
Got it. Okay.
Right? Like, it was like all green and then ran into red, and red turning, it's about to come up, right? You catch earliest with Market Cipher. Same thing is happening here. This is a continuing uptrend on this company. Look at this uptrend on daily chart.
Yeah. And
we just completed our downtrend, almost complete. So any price you get right now is going to be, you know, there's no guarantee, but, you know, if history repeats, this is going to be the bottom of this new channel that's starting to the upside.
It's been trading in a channel since March, somewhere in the March, right? If you look at March all the way through now, it's just like put a box around the,
yeah.
You know, it's just, it may get a breakout, whichever way it goes. Could be interesting.
I like Market Cipher. Market Cipher gives you a little bit more on the timing. So, like, if you complete this thing like this, somewhere around here, which is August 10th, you're going to be moving up. You know, you can kind of predict. You know, it's not perfect science, but I suspect this wave will complete itself and we'll get a small wave and we get a trigger buy. So when we get that, this is a buy. And I love seeing the squeeze histogram going to the upside. You know?
Yeah, let's keep that on the radar. I think that's pretty interesting to me as well. So
you'll get like 30, 40 point move. That's with options, you know, could be pretty good return.
Agreed.
All right. What else do we want to look at?
I guess a few people have questions for you.
Okay, yeah.
See if you want to take a look at them.
Yeah, let's do. Let's see. GDX on money calendar also makes sense with gold bullishness. You see a trade there. GDX. Yeah, look at the squeeze on GDX on daily. I like this. And VWAP is positive. Money flow is coming up. And we have a momentum wave trigger buy here. So we got a buy here. It was a perfect buy, guys. Almost perfect on GDX on daily. And and you would have caught this initial move. So remember, with John Carter, you're gonna catch the squeeze all the way, and it's kind of up here. With Market Cipher, you kind of catch it earlier. Like this is a trigger wave divergence buy. I mean, it's a perfect buy. We missed this, or at least I missed it. But I think you see if we get a pullback to the half of this bar, so somewhere around 34. Yeah, maybe like. Okay, where did it close? Close that.
Where did it close?
Yeah.
34.92.
92. So on a pullback to 34, even like 34.50 actually, you could buy this.
Yeah, there's a gap fill potential. If you're looking at GDX, you may get some gap fill at 34.25 level. So.
Yeah, you're right. So look at this 4-hour chart. This momentum wave will turn. It'll have a little bit of pullback. That's our buy opportunity. And then a squeeze fired here. So I like this. I like this, Janak. FedEx into earnings after being beaten down. Facebook reversal. Let's look at FedEx. That looks ugly on 4-hour. Let me see on the daily. Yeah, daily still looks ugly. You may go up to like 282 and still roll over. It looks like the squeezes will fly to the downside with FedEx. That's not good. What is your view on FedEx?
Let me add this chart here. See if all right. I know I have a lot of squiggles on my charts. I'm trying to take a look at UPS for a second. What did they do after earnings? So they're just the gap down. They're hanging down here. Let's look at FedEx for a run into earnings. I mean, Janak, you may have a trade in here, but it could be very tricky just because, I mean, it's not that you can trade this, but there's a 200 simple moving average support in here. So you consider, what is it, September 20th, okay, somewhere around. So you could potentially look for a trade in this market. I think the way you want to look at this is look at the oversold level, right, in the previous situation, see where the supports are. The one thing I see is, yeah, 200 simple moving average, there's some VWAP support here and some Darwin box support here in these ranges. So if this price holds in here, you could kind of see a run into earnings, but considering the market has sold off, it's going to be, there may be other potential opportunities to trade than just look at this, which is kind of getting beaten down here. The way I want to see generally is for the earnings trades, I would prefer to see a market where the price has just pulled back into the 34 EMA range, and then you have 4 to 6 weeks left for the earnings, which I think in this instance is pretty good. But this market has like red grab candles, which is kind of a no touch for me. But if you really want to trade this, I think you could kind of see if the price supports in here, or you can get in and get out quickly. You know, make sure if this price doesn't hold here at the 200 simple moving average, just get out, and then we can figure out other ways to kind of manage these things. That's my take on the FedEx trade.
Let's take a look at Facebook. You want to take a look at Facebook as well?
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, Facebook. I think I pointed this at the beginning of the session. Facebook is a part of XLC, right? XLC is basically your communication sector, consists of Google, and the biggest one is Google and Facebook. With that said, I think this is a pretty good market to be in. Looks like the gap fill has happened. I think the market is double green. The sentiment and the trend is bullish, even though it's taken a kind of pullback in here. You may want to see if you get some pullback this week to see if getting to 34 EMA, anywhere between these levels around 350 to 345 range. If I'm drawing this right, 345 to 350 range to kind of get a conservative entry to get on the long side for Facebook. That's kind of my take. Hope that that helps you, Janak.
Yeah, let me show you my chart here. Look at this. So every time on a daily chart, you stock RSI cross, you got a perfect buy signal with this money flow green. So I would wait till we complete this momentum wave, and you see how the VWAP is crossed down. So this has a couple more bars of down trend, and then I would wait till the stock RSI complete this move. I'll watch this because we will get a perfect buy signal, I think, on Facebook probably this week. This is daily chart, right? Yeah. Let me see the 4 hour. Yeah, 4 hour is almost about to give a buy signal. So we probably have like two more days. That looks good. I know a few of you are on Tesla.
Yeah, me too.
Tesla 4 hour. This is what I like. So we broke out of this triangle, the giant triangle, and I did this for 4 hour. I think I did this on a day, so it was a triangle like this, which is really, really bullish. But yeah, what I like is see how on the 4 hour we have a nice curvature. Negative money flow is over. So you see how this happened here. Kind of completed. And then you got into green money flow around here. And then you got all this move. Same thing is happening now. I mean, it doesn't mean it's gonna probably chop around as well, but the grand scheme of what's going on is this. We have a longer term buy signal on Tesla.
What's the target that you're looking for on this trade?
I mean, longer term, it's this daily chart. Your first target is 700. I mean, when I first time I entered, my first target was 690, but we hit the target. The second was 700, and then 750 is the third target.
Okay. Yeah, the squeeze on the daily looks pretty interesting. The momentum has shifted to the upside. So
look at the weekly chart. This is weekly chart. we had, anytime you have these W's on the stochastic RSI, you get a significant move up. So, and we had a greened up eye signal here. So,
yeah, I like the way you traded on Friday, in and out, in and out. Can you just walk us through kind of what you saw again? Sorry, maybe I missed.
So what I did was, I think I was looking at 39-minute chart.
Okay. Yeah, those trades were pretty good. I mean, I took a couple of them, not the third one or the fourth one. The fourth one, I took it again, I think, and.
So I'm still in this trade because we got a buy signal here again, and we didn't get to sell it at the end of the day. So this, like the VWAP is turning, it's green. When I sold, it was right here, like both here and here I sold. I did this a few times the whole week, I think. I can't remember now.
Yeah, we should consider doing a session just on the indicators that we all use. And I know there's tons on my charts too. So it's helpful probably for the people to understand some of the things we are looking at and how we are using it to trade, enter into trades and exit. I think yours is pretty, to get some conviction on some of the trades you're posting would be helpful for us, at least from.
Yeah, I mean, this one was really hard to post and exit. Like it was happening so quickly.
Yeah.
You probably looked at the 5-minute, 3-minute market cipher. I mean, you kind of trade like near real time. But it was, good thing was it was kind of, the option price was in a range. 675 calls. I think it was ranging between, can't remember now, but somewhere around, there's like a good 6-point move on these. And then we did an Amazon trade. It's not the, I want to show you guys what I saw when Lee requested when she mentioned she was, expecting a bounce. I actually agreed with her. So I think, look at this head and shoulders on the market cipher. I think Amazon has more ways to the downside. But what I expect is on a daily chart, you have this big candle. Typically, the stock pulls back to the middle of that candle. So it's possible that we will hit 34.70, something like that. And then we close another candle down. So we have to catch these move up, make sure your orders are already in to exit, and when it moves up like this, and the butterfly, let the market makers close the butterfly, when it moves like that, because this is a daily chart. So we'll get a daily close somewhere around here. So I expect, maybe towards the end of the day or Tuesday, we are doing something up here. Like similar to what's happening on the 4-hour chart. You see how this is where we closed? The next 4-hour bar started in the middle of the previous bar, right? Same thing in the middle, same thing in the middle. So, but there's a potential turn here because the momentum wave is turning and the stock RSI is turning. So it's not the perfect setup, but we got a butterfly that's pretty good risk reward. So that's why I was okay with doing that. Do you have views on Amazon?
No, I mean, I agree with you. I took the same trade as you. I'm expecting the same thing, a bounce to that 50% level. Let's see what happens. I mean, like good risk reward, and even if I lose 100%, it is what it is. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's the way I look at those butterflies. But let's see how it plays out next week.
Yeah, we did the butterfly for next week's expiration, so it has to work or it's not going to work. Yeah. I think that's all I have, Karthik. I don't know anything else you want to share.
No, I mean, I think appreciate you coming back safely here. So at some point, you should share some pictures of your vacation. That'll be interesting. Hope you had fun. And
It's really, really fun. It's beautiful.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Akash is asking for Bitcoin and ETH. That's true. We didn't do Bitcoin. I wanted to show you guys very quickly. So on the daily chart, this is what I see. We had this red diamond, guys. So, and the momentum wave turning, VWAP is turning, right? So I expect a 1 to 4 candle correction that'll take us down to 35K, possibly. This is why I like Market Cipher, right? It's kind of telling you right around here, you're going to get a turn with the VWAP coming down. So my views have not changed. I posted this on Twitter, on the Crypto and Lambo Twitter. My expectation is we are, if you look at the monthly chart, was it finance idea? One of these things have like the full, it's probably Bitstamp. It's 2012. Let's see. Maybe this one has the full data. No, it doesn't. That's the finance. Yeah, I need to find the one that has the full data. Like these go back to 2018, but I wanted to show you guys from 2012. Anyhow, we'll do that some other time. But from my perspective, we're going to continue to stay in a range of 28,000 to 42,000 until end of year, and then we go to 6-digit in the new year. But we'll see. On the ETH looks really bullish because of the August factor. They're going into ETH 2.0, right? So it becomes a staking coin, and as opposed to proof of work. I expect while Bitcoin stabilizes around 35, 36K, all the altcoins to rally, and it's going to include Ethereum. Ethereum probably will rally further. I don't know if you guys follow the news. Let me just pull in these guys. Let's make this smaller. So if you market cap, I think Ethereum has a really big potential to continue to rally, even though Bitcoin is kind of pulling back a little bit. I expect all these other coins to come up. So Solana, Matic, Polygon, these are my favorites. VeChain, Terra Luna. I bought Terra Luna on this last dip at $6. It's almost doubled. Yeah, I think Terra Luna, VeChain, Polygon, Solana. I'd always, keep some Binance, BNB, and Ethereum should continue to rally because of the what I wanted to show you guys is so. If Look at Ethereum news.
Did they ever come out with the Bitcoin ETFs that they were suggesting? You, by any chance? Do you know?
No, I don't foresee an ETF anytime soon in the US.
Okay, thank you.
It's going to probably take another year. And when that happens, that's going to be the top. So this EIP 1559, the upgrade of Ethereum is really, really bullish. I mean, it kind of removes Ethereum's inflationary aspects and makes it a deflationary asset. So, I mean, and it is highly adopted and used, right? So fees will become, better priced, and it's going to make it more attractive, I think, for both staking and continued adoption. Yeah. So I'm very bullish on Ethereum in August because of this 1559 EIP 1559. And Cardano is the other one. So with the smart contract implementation, Cardano, and it's going to be a major competition to Ethereum. I have a big chunk of this as well. I did add Doge into my portfolio just because, there's a whole, slew of celebrities supporting this, and they're actually pushing for adoption. So I have a small portion on Doge in my portfolio. I did add it at 0.19. That's also up. That's it. I mean, these are good times to kind of on pullbacks, adding in good projects, but they did go up significantly last week or two. I expect them to continue to go up when Bitcoin kind of settles somewhere around 35, 36K this week. Any questions on crypto? All right. So, Karthik, I think that's it for tonight. And
yeah, well done, E.O. I mean, so I think from my side, I think let's just keep the focus on NQ and ES and focus on the relative outperformance in those indexes, and focus on the ETFs associated with it. As I said before, like XLK, XLC, XLY, and pick relative outperformance if you guys are looking for a swing trades. If you're trading intraday, just keep your focus on NQ and ES for scalping. You'll be in a better shape from a longer directional bias perspective. So with that said, hope this session was helpful for everybody. And E.O., welcome back again. And please share any departing thoughts for the night.
Yeah, thank you, Karthik. It's great to be back. I had really missed my home setup for trading, and I'm so glad that we're back to the normal process. Thank you all for joining tonight, guys. Have a great week. Let's make money this week together.
All right, take it easy, all. Good night.
Bye-bye.